getting ready for the homeless project. So we're ordering so much stuff, hats, mittens, whatever. They called to confirm. We just wanted to make sure it wasn't a mistake. And then you say it's the homeless, right? They go, oh, let me see if I can get more. And I didn't want to tell her, no, we have enough. Okay. Uh, Welcome to the podcast of Millionaire of the Diamonds, where the mission and the vision is very clear. Becoming a better version of ourselves through this powerful mission on who is the person we have to become. You see, at the podcast, The Millionaire of the Diamonds, and you know what, Jean-Philippe Marie-Pierre, in our company, Tupperware Les Diamants, we strongly believe that we need to take responsibility to be all that we can be so we can achieve our dreams, so we can make a difference, that we need to be intentional, we need to be disciplined, we must never rely on motivation and inspiration. Can I tell you a lot about that? I was so sick this week. I actually did a mini reel yesterday morning because I did not feel like coming in, and I do this podcast, right? And it says, the successful do what the unsuccessful don't like doing. And you get your ass out of bed and you go. I said, I got to do a reel on that. So, what you can expect today, you're absolutely going to love it. And again, I was saying to Jean Philippe, Sylvain, and Marie Pierre, there's a big danger. And I'm so happy people are reading the Essentialism with us, with this podcast, because it is such a touchy subject today. Today's episode about the essentialism is the courage to choose what truly matters, the discipline to release everything that doesn't. Wow, absolutely right. But where it could go south, and especially with those people that always love justifying their lack of not sticking to commitments, their lack of not achieving their dream life, is this. Because we're going to talk about why saying no feels so uncomfortable, how it steals our clarity, how if we don't say no, it talks about how we can undermine our future. The danger here is, like I was saying to Jean-Philippe, and I'm going to make very sure in my segment, I'm going to cover it, is that I'm trying to think of people in my life that I know. Example, customer A is going to say, well, the essentialism said I have to say no. Yeah, but the problem is you're not doing anything else in your life. So what would you say no? And that's the aspect I'm going to bring you. But before we go there, I'm going to leave you in the hands of Marie-Pierre to talk about the conference, the contest, and we'll be right back to begin our podcast today.
Yes. So first thing, it's time to share. I just finished to share everywhere. So you want to make sure that you share on every social media platform. So you have the arrow just beside where you write your comment. So you can share everywhere. And in the comment, you have a text that you can copy paste it when you share so people understand why they should listen to the podcast this morning. And you will see that when you click to share, you can also share by messenger, by text message to those people that you really want them to listen to the podcast. That's the best way to make sure that they will click on the link if you send it directly to them. Then we have our contest, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So first, when you go on our Facebook group called Les Millionnaires des Diamants Inspirational Group, every time that you post on that group, that you leave a comment, a reaction, you gain points during the month to be in the top 10 contributor of the group. And at the end of the month, the official top 10 will get a voucher to go shop on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. Then we have a draw at the end of every month. So to be in the draw, there's two ways. First, with the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So you place your order, you take a picture, you receive your order, you take a picture, and you post on social media and you tag Marie Mereno and Les Millionnaires des Diamants to be in the draw. And same thing with the books Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So every time that you receive one of the books, you take your picture, you're reading one of the books, you take a picture, you're doing one of the quiz book, you take a picture, you're doing one of the workbook, you take a picture, you're using agenda, you take a picture. So every day you can take a new picture and you can post on social media and tag Marie Mereno and Les Millionnaires des Diamants to be in the draw at the end of the month. And then we have the conference that is coming up on January 24th. So if you are not yet registered, you still have time. I will put again the link. It will appear in the comment in a few seconds. So make sure that you click on the link and you register. And it's a virtual conference. That means that you can watch it from all around the world. And even if the time is not the best for you, because maybe you are not at the same place as us, it's okay because you can watch it in the replay. So when is the timing is right for you. And for those that are close to us and want to be with us at the studio in Anjou, you can write me a message when you get your ticket. Say, I want to be part of the studio. So you want to be in person, that's okay. And I will add you to the group, the special group of people that will be with us at the studio. So you will have the time to take some picture with us at the studio when we do the conference at the same time. Bye.
Yeah, Liz, the photographer, said yes, right?
It's Melanie that asked her for this one. I will confirm with her.
Confirm, yeah, because I love pictures. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I love pictures. But we have some great one. I love the new one we have of the Millionaire, the Diamonds. It's a lot of fun. So let's dive right into it. First of all, the people I would love to see in person at this conference is Jacqueline. I would love for you to be there. James, thank you for telling me Monique is there, and Kendra. Anybody know where Sherry Novak is? Maybe text her, please. I would love to have Lee's, my podcast regulars, Beth. Oh, Beth, I would so love to meet you in person. So thank Matthew. Again, Matthew, thank you for the cream. It's making a difference. We have Linda this morning, Carolyn. So thank you. You're the people I really would love for you to be there, because you're everywhere in the podcast. You do the most posts. You truly contribute to growing this to a worldwide podcast. So I would really love for you guys to say yes to the invitation on the 24th in person. I know James booked St. Agathe, and he's coming down to be in person here on the 24th. I'm really excited. So let's dive in. The theme again is essentialism and the courage to say no. So one thing I must say, have you ever noticed that the hardest word in leadership is a two-letter word, and it's not go, it's not do. The hardest word is no, okay? And we don't struggle with saying it, with saying no, because we're weak. We struggle because we're human. And Jean-Philippe will explain. By the way, Jean-Philippe, I love the history that he's going to bring to us on why we are afraid to say no. I didn't even think about that. I'm going to absolutely level. We struggle because we don't want to be unpleasant. Okay, we like to be liked. We like to be valued, and saying yes proves something about who we are, so we think, right? But here's the truth that I learned the hard way. Saying yes everywhere is the fastest way to disappear from our own life, so we have to be very, very careful. So just before I go a little bit deeper, it's very important to understand that in the beginning of my life, I said yes to everything that had value. Yes to helping my mother clean the house. Yes to helping my dad bring in the wood. Yes, later on to wash the dishes at the Tupperware office, because I was going to rub shoulders with the top leaders. This is so important that we don't misinterpret the yes from the no, because it might be taken the wrong way today. So yes, there has to be a yes point with the right people for the right reasons. So as I dive in, you're going to more understand. So I remember the exact moment in my career when everything began to change. It wasn't the day that I earned an award. It wasn't the day I hit a milestone. It was the day I finally had the courage to say no, because as I was climbing the ladder of success, my agenda became more and more filled. And with me is that I didn't say yes to you and drop the ball somewhere else. I literally had a week where I slept only 13 hours. I mean, that's just who I am. And there's not many people like that. I know that, but that was the problem. So for years, I was the yes woman. Yes, I'll do that training. Yes, I'll help you with those boxes. Yes, I will do this. I will fix that situation, because I was very, very good at it. I said yes because I was afraid of disappointing people, afraid of not being enough. That's a word that if you're leaning in today, afraid of not being enough. We are enough. Okay. Just remember that. Afraid that if I didn't say yes, I wouldn't be valued. And here's the part we rarely admit out loud. When our self-worth is low, when our personal successes are low, when we're not doing what we're supposed to do, what happens to human beings? We hide behind the yes. Okay. So we say yes because it gives us a false sense of importance, a false sense of contribution, a false sense of being needed. Just like many women in my direct business, selling business, who say, oh, I can do this because my kids, dot, dot, dot. Oh, I can do this because I'm busy with this family issue, dot, dot, dot. Oh, I can do this because there's um, death or a sickness or dot, dot, dot. Okay. These excuses now become shields that prevent them from seeing the real truth. They are saying yes to everything except their own dreams. But all of that changed for me the day I began having real success. So, step one here is to go from saying yes to what's not important and what you're hiding behind, not to live your dream life, and moving into the no. We need to have results. Okay. Results spoke louder than my fears. Everything shifted. I remember leaders asking me, Maria, can you do this training? And for the first time in my life, I could look at them with respect, grace, and confidence, say, I would love to. But if I do this right now, I won't be able to give it the excellence this training deserves. So, my answer for today will be think of me the next time. No guilt, no fear, no apologies, just clarity, conviction, and respect for myself and for them. And you know what happened? They respected me more and more. So for those that know me now, 40 some years in this business, and more years get into this business, the more the respect in my environment, family, friends, neighbor, colleagues, and my work has only increased. Okay. That moment taught me something essential. To say no with elegance, you must build a life with excellence. So I want you to leave today understanding that we have the permissions to say no when we're living a life of excellence. So the yes woman in me brought me to be an incredible housekeeper. Not that I do the cleaning of my home today, but I have the respect of my cleaning lady that she never walks in my home and it's a disaster. The me saying yes allowed me to learn to be organized. That was my dad. He was an incredible disciplined man. So today, if I do delegate things, I'm speaking out of I know how to do this. Let me share with you what I want you to do, and there's clarity. And the success that has provided for me with my husband, my children, my family, my neighbors allow me actually I don't have to say no anymore. Today, nobody would even dare ask me something that's completely irrelevant. So my sister said one day, she said, nobody asks you anything because dot, dot, dot. And I said, well, people ask you everything because they know you're not busy. So organize your time. Otherwise, somebody else is going to organize it for you. Now, to better understand it, the academic side of all of this, I'm going to leave you in the hands of Jean-Philippe Jacques.
Hello, hello, hello. So, yes, we want to look at what are those reasons that sometimes it is hard for us to say no, and how actually you can say it in a way that is graceful. But remember, as Maria just said, okay, it does not mean that starting from now you need to say no to everything. It's all about getting those skills, those successes that will help you stay aligned with what you want in your life. So, yes, saying no seems simple in theory, but for most of us, it's a trigger. Why is it this way? Okay, we need to get back to the caveman, the hunter gatherer, okay, because our brain are wired still the same way. It is wired to prioritize group harmony because back then, back in the days, okay, during the caveman, okay, being excluded from a tribe can threaten your survival. Okay. And still today, in our DNA and the way that our brain is wired, it's still the same. That ancient fear translate into discomfort, okay? And we don't want to disappoint somebody. So it creates conflicts and it seems rude. But let's just be real. It is not the case today. Okay, we don't have the same fear, and if we say no to something, we won't threaten our survival. Okay, so what is happening is that guilt and that fear model our clarity. So as a result, we make emotional decision, not the essential one. Okay, so we choose to avoid a 3 minutes of awkwardness, saying no to somebody and feel discomfort at the cost of weeks, months, and even sometimes years of regrets. So we really need to understand, okay, and this is what we will see today, how a good no to something that is not essential in your life can lead you really where you want. So we need to understand what is that contrast between being an essentialist versus a non-essentialist. So the fear push us towards specific behaviors. So the non-essentialist will avoid saying no to escape social awkwardness. So they say yes automatically. Often they enjoy the immediate rush of pleasing someone, okay? But the adrenaline high is followed by a crash. And then you realize, why did I say yes to that? And then you feel guilty. And on the opposite, you have the essentialists. Okay. So here you understand that saying no to the fundament is a fundamental skills. So they dare to say it firmly and gracefully. They don't say no to be negative, but they say no to protect their yes. Okay. In the future. So it's the difference between being reactive and being intentional. So, how can we be sure that we stay in a place where when we learn to say no to somebody, it stay in a graceful way? So, I have 6 elements that I want to cover with you. First of all, you need to learn to separate the decision from the relationship. Okay, so this one is really important because if a friend is asking you for a favor, a colleague made you a request, okay, we tend to blend the two element, which is if I refuse their request, I will hurt the person, okay, and they will like me less. But here you really need to make a distinction, okay? They are not saying, you're not saying no to them, you're saying no to their request. So in reality, okay, you really need to understand, okay, I truly value our collaboration, I truly value our relationship, but right now I have to decline it for that reason. Okay, so you're refusing the action, not the person. And this is a thing that you learn throughout an MLM because you're asking a lot of questions to people, a lot of demand, and a lot of them will say no. And you need to differentiate that they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to the request that you made to them. And this is how you build your carapace, okay, as an entrepreneur. Number two, okay, make the trade-off visible. Okay, so here, by saying yes to one thing, it means that you will say no to something else. And this could be your principal, your family time, an important project, some rest. Okay, so essentialists will actually understand, okay, if I'm saying yes to you, okay, what will I say no to the future? So they think about that and they are really clear about their intention and about their value. Okay, so here you could respond, I'm happy to take this on, to give it a priority. Which current project should I deprioritize or delegate? So when you're faced in this situation like that, you really need to understand or think of like when you're working with your boss or your team leader, that they understand that if you are coding sometimes there, that you won't be able to do that. And right now, my partner is in that situation, is actually been offered a promotion at work, and it's a new title. But Jonathan has been working as a chef and a sous chef in another part of his life. And right now he really know what he wants. So he's clarifying and make them understand that if he's putting some time there, that he won't be able to do that. And right now there is still a lot of work to do in that area. So he's really able to make the trade-off visible. Number three, don't go for popularity, go for respect. Okay, sometimes saying no is just about respect and it's about showing people that, okay, I'm saying no, but because I trust my own value. And this is what happened when Steve Jobs asked some of his friends to create several logos option for a new company. And the guy, Rand, said no. He said, I will solve your problem the best way I know with one logo. If you want many options, don't ask me. And Jobs was really impressed and he thought that it was really courageous, no? So he understand how the respect is important, much more of the popularity. So how can you say no? Okay, now that you understand those basic principles, well, here is three techniques. First, the awkward pause. We use that when we were doing a lot of home party, okay? When you ask a question, shut your mouth because the first person to talk is the one who will lose it. Okay, so that awkward silence, a lot of people are not comfortable in it, so they will talk over, and actually they will completely change you won't have to say no, okay, because they will take the answer. The soft no or the no but. Okay, so here it's really often used in email. Thank you so much for this collaboration invite. I'm currently deep in writing a book, and unfortunately, I can't take a new commitment right now. So you're not saying no, it's a soft no. Okay, it's like camouflage. And the last one is let me check my calendar and I get back to you. Those are very professional people, okay, because they are very organized and they want to be sure that if they commit, okay, that they will be there. So be that type of person. When you got a request, you want to show people that you are a professional one, that your time is valuable, and if you say yes, that will be a yes intentional. So those are not magic, okay? It's a way of learning how to say no. So now to understand how you are actually saying yes or no in your life, I will let microphone to Marie-Pierre for the reflection and the quiz this morning.
Okay, thank you, Jean-Philippe. So yes, let's start the reflection part. So it's really important that for the next few minutes during the reflection, I really want everyone to observe themselves with honesty and kindness. Be kind with yourself because we need to realize, yes, with all the techniques, that good. But saying no is not just about the technique. It's about your identity. It's about your boundaries. It's about the courage to protect what matters most in your life. So let's begin the reflection with the first question. So it's not the A, B, C, D like we usually have. Today, it's a reflection question. So let's start with question number one. So, where in your life do you say yes from guilt instead of alignment? So, is it in your work? Is it with your family? Is it in your friendship? Volunteering? Just a request that you didn't want, but you said yes because you didn't want the tension? So you can write it in the comment if you want, or you can write it on a piece of paper. That's good too. So write down one real situation that you said yes from guilt instead of alignment. So maybe you said yes because you didn't want to look selfish. You said yes because you fear disappointing someone. You said yes because it was easier than explaining. Second question. Where is social awkwardness leading your decision? So meaning that you knew the right answer, but the discomfort of saying no was stronger. So, for example, you attend a gathering that you didn't want to attend, or maybe you accepted a task that you knew that would drain you. You stayed quiet instead of setting a boundary, or you agreed to help someone even though it created a resentment. So, be honest with yourself. This is where your freedom begins, just because you are honest with yourself on where is that social awkwardness that is leading with your decision. For reflection number 3. Where have you traded your peace for popularity? Not because you wanted to, but because in the moment, approval felt safer than the truth. So maybe you overcome it, or you took responsibility for someone else's work. You didn't say what you meant. You didn't respect your own limit. So again, write one thing, one truth for yourself. And question number 4. What request that this month or in the last few months that you regret saying yes to? So I want you to identify it, name it, because this is how you can take back leadership of your time, just by realize where you said yes and you regret saying yes because it wasn't aligned with what is really important for you. Now, for the next exercise, it's gonna be easy, yes or no. Okay? So it's example that you can say yes if it's something that you do in your real life, or no if you say no, no, that's not me. Okay? So, number one, did you say yes this week to something that you did not want to do just to avoid disappointing someone? Like agreeing to attend an event even though you were exhausted, or saying yes to a favor when you already had too much on your plate. So, did you say yes this week to something that you didn't want to do just to avoid disappointing someone? Number two, did you say yes to a request that was not aligned with your priorities but made you feel obligated? So maybe helping with something that was not your responsibility, agreeing to volunteer because you felt that you should, or adding a task to your schedule that pushed aside something important. Number three, did you say yes because you felt guilty, not because you truly wanted to? So saying yes after someone insisted a second time, or accepting a meeting that you didn't have time for, doing something for someone because you didn't want to look selfish. Number four, did you say yes without checking your calendar, energy, or commitment? So responding immediately, sure, I'll do it before even thinking. And number five, did you say yes to maintain harmony even though the yes created pressure or resentment inside you? So agreeing to a plan that you didn't want, accepting a workload that isn't suitable for you, saying yes to keep the peace, and then regretting it later. So if you answer yes to two or more, you are not making decisions from clarity. You are making decisions from fear or from guilt or pressure or habit. So the exercise is not there to say, oh, you say yes too many times. No, no, it's just to help you see clearly where your boundaries collapse so you can begin practicing that essentialism. So a clear yes and a calm no, and to help you achieve that peaceful life. So it's all about realizing where you say yes, where maybe you feel that pressure, where you feel that guilt or that fear, and that you can practice then with first the technique, and then it's gonna become more natural. But start with the techniques that Jean-Philippe just covered that will help you to start saying no when it's something that you need to say no because it's gonna protect a yes that really matter for you. So on that, I wish you a beautiful day, and we will see you tomorrow morning for the next podcast. Bye everyone.